To the outside world, the Rice family looked complete. But for David and Sarah, the empty chair at their table whispered that someone was still missing. When the doctors said high risk, the dream of another pregnancy ended. But while one door closed, their hearts remained wide open. That's when they decided to use the adoption method in order to have another child to love and care for. They found Jonathan, a 10-year-old boy who had bounced between homes long enough to stop trusting the word family. They looked at each other after examining his file and said, "I think we found our missing piece." Jonathan was always hopeful of finding a good family, but life had already taught him that it is very tough. He did not want to have high hopes. They took him to the mountains of Tennessee. For David and Sarah, it was a vacation. For Jonathan, it was the most important test of his life. When they went hiking, he always pushed extra hard to make sure he kept up. Even though he was tired and worn out, he didn't want to fail. Every mistake felt like a failure. When he spilled his drink, he froze, waiting for the anger. He didn't realize Grace was sitting right across from him. At dinner, he would always wonder if he did the right thing and if his possible new parents were pleased with him and his actions. He was so anxious. On the final night, the house was quiet until a soft, muffled weeping drifted down the hallway. Jonathan couldn't help but wonder what would happen if he returned to the adoption center. David and Sarah walked down the hallway and they found Jonathan curled in a ball, shaking with sobs, finally crushed by the weight of trying to earn his place. Through his tears, he finally whispered the question haunting him. Was I good enough? Did I pass the test? David pulled him close. "Son, you didn't have to earn this. We decided you were ours before we even got on the plane to get you." Jonathan realized he wasn't on a trial run anymore. The empty chair was finally filled. He was now in a loving family that accepted him, and that was a big relief for him. This story mirrors the human condition before God. We often live our lives like Jonathan, believing we are on a trial run with God. We think we must perform perfectly, hide our mistakes, and earn our place in His family. We fear that if we aren't good enough, God will send us back. But the gospel tells a different story. Just as the Rice family decided on Jonathan before the trip began, God set His affection on you before you took your first breath. You do not have to audition for God's love. You only have to accept it. As the scriptures confirm regarding God's foreknowledge and choice of you, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born I set you apart." Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Psalm chapter 139 verses 13-16. Stop trying to earn what has already been freely given. You were chosen not because of your performance, but because of His purpose.